Yo, hey, how's it going? Pretty good. Let me see real fast with my camera real quick. Oh, there you go. Can you see me or no? Alright, cool. Alright, what am I showing? Yeah. No. Stop.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you are enjoying yourself on this beautiful Friday afternoon. It is 12:43 Best Coast time. It is your good friend Rafa Sparza here at Grappling Hour. Got a very good show for you today. Normally I won't do a Friday show, but when a good guest comes along, I say, you know what, I'll make time, because here's the thing. I got to commentate this gentleman's match for the very first time. I've never had the opportunity to commentate one of his matches, and it was a hell of a match at Subversive. I was very stoked when I heard he was going to have a match, period, but I was stoked when I heard the opponent, and then I was even more thrilled to get the opportunity to discuss that. So here's what we've got going on today. We need to talk with him about Subversive and the host of other things he's got going on before he graces us back at ADCC, which is coming up this September. I believe it's 27th and 28th. If you haven't gotten your tickets, go get it now, because it might sell out, and when I mean might, it probably will. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the show, Geo Martinez. Geo, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Really good right now. Just hanging out here, Oceanside with my dog, training hard, and just having a good day, trying to enjoy my Friday.
What is your dog's name?
Her full name is B. Arthur, because my girlfriend, she's obsessed with the Golden Girls. She grew up watching the Golden Girls with her grandma, and there's like my grandma and my family, they watch the Golden Girls too, so she kind of looks like an old lady, so we ended up naming her B. Arthur. One of the actresses, her real name's B. Arthur, so we named her B. Arthur, and we just call her B, or B. Art.
She's very cute. And I remember the process of you going to get it, and it was very strange to see some people who were very awkward about this process, because you put it out to the internet and you said, hey guys, give me some advice, give me some notes. And then
Yeah.
people were like giving you the full back end and being like, are you sure you're ready for a dog?
Right. It's weird because I never personally had a dog. We had a family dog, but my girlfriend had a lot of dogs before, and she's raised a lot of dogs. Even her family was telling her that it was gonna be hard to have a dog, and we're like, wait, we're not having a kid, man. We're just having a dog. Like, there's literally bums out there with dogs, and they take care of their dogs pretty good. All you really gotta do is just be there for your dog. And I have a lot of time. I just train jiu-jitsu really all the time, and I don't really have any real social life besides hanging out with my jiu-jitsu team and my girlfriend, and my pets kind of keep me busy. And when I'm out of town, I have a lot of teammates that love animals, and I'll be like, hey, stay at my house for a week. I'll pay you whatever, or just whatever. They'll sometimes do it for free, but sometimes if I can't really find anybody, if I'd be like, hey, I'll pay you a few bucks, stay at my house, eat all the food I have there, hang out, play video games, like, everyone's gonna be like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, some of the younger guys are all hype about it, so she's never gonna be alone. She's always gonna have someone taking care of her. And I have 2 cats too, and I take care of them too. And it's pretty easy if you kind of if you love your animals, like, you'll be there for them because you care about them,
Right. I mean, I gotta say this, man. I'm a huge workaholic, and my wife was pushing for a dog, and we ended up getting one. And the nicest part about it is that it forced me to actually take some time off here and there. And It's good because, the thing is, you don't want to be a drone. You don't want to overwork yourself. And it was kind of weird that it was my wife's nice suggestion. So at a certain point, she's like, did you go train? I was like, no, I spent some time with the dog today. And she was like, really? And I go, yeah, just, I love the dog. It's fine. Yeah. It's just, I'm trying to be, less crazy about.
You feel bad if you don't spend time with your dog now, because the dog's like, you're living with it, like, you're with your dog all the time. Your dog's right there in the same living space as you. You can sense each other's energy. So I feel my dog when she's like, dude, take me out for a walk, like, let's go do something. I was like, yeah, you're right, let's go out, let's go run. And after you do a nice little run with her or walk with her, she's freaking tired. They're pooped out. They just want one little nice run, 1 hour of your day.
Yeah.
And it's kind of discipline for myself too. Yeah. Because when I don't do it, I feel guilty, and I'm just like, I gotta get on schedule. I gotta stay focused and really be a good dog owner.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was laughing yesterday because my dog has like a little bed that she goes into when we leave the house for a little bit, and she literally, when I was about to leave to train, she knew. She just goes, oh, I'm going to go in my house. You're going to go train. And I was like, that's freaking adorable. Like, I love that she gave me a look. She's like, I've got it covered. I'm going to take a nap until you get home. So it's just like, my dog also knows, Dad's got to get out there.
First, knowing your schedule is like, all right, it's training time or it's serious time, and
yeah.
Your dog picks it up. But I love having animals. I don't, like my brother, he's like, I remember he asked me once, like, he doesn't really like animals. He's like he likes animals, but he's like, why would you want a dog? Like, really, like, he doesn't get it yet, kind of. And I'm like, well, dude, like, it's just like, they're cool, like, they're fun, like, they show you love, you show them love, and it's like, it feels good in a weird way, you know what I mean? Like, like, literally something like loves you, like, is there like, I love you, like, I miss you. You're like, it's unconditional, like, they rely on you no matter who you are.
Absolutely. I mean? Well, let's talk about this because we were getting in some notes here, and we will get to you guys. I love Bash the Beast says, sup, Geo. Michael Reyes says, pack animals. So here's what I want to start with. So how did the match with you and Zhao Miao come together? Because, first of all, you've been one of the more active people doing team grappling. I think you might have some of the most experience doing this team format. So when they do individual matches, you're guaranteed a match with one person. That person happened to be Zhao Miao. What was your reaction when they told you it, and how did it come together?
Like, I literally had like 5 different offers against Zhao Miao in 5 different events. Just everybody wants to see that matchup, that rematch from Guatemala.
Yep.
I think it was a really good, entertaining match. It was a point match. I took a match, and I'm like, hey, let's do points. I don't care. I'll take that roll set. And he ended up winning by, I believe, 2 points. You know what I mean? It was 4-2 or 6-2, one of those two. And it was a good match. And I just felt like, they're good at that game. They're really good at scoring those points. And then kind of like, that's about it. I don't know how high. I mean, don't get me wrong. they're finishers. They kill a lot of people, but I feel like at a certain point they don't really go for it. You know what I mean? Like they're just like, hey, like I feel happy winning by points and doing that, and they get satisfied with that. You know what I mean? That makes them feel good. And I'm the opposite. If I beat somebody by points and I can't tap them out, I don't really feel that satisfied. It's just my nature, I guess. It's just who I am. I just really don't feel that satisfied when I can't finish someone. When it comes down to OT, everyone's like, it was not fair. People have this, I'm saying, like, people have the same, rear naked choke, RNC, this move that's been in the game forever. It's a traditional move. You can't get out. You can't finish. Like, we're the best of the best in the world. Like, we got to be the best in these positions. They're considered the most popular positions in jiu-jitsu history, which is the back and arm bar. And now we're just doing a shootout. Like, I'm ready. I'm down. Let's do it. Are you ready? Are you crazy enough to go to OT? Are you down to put yourself in these deep waters and let me get your back? Can you get out? Like, I could. I'm down for it. Like, I don't feel scared. I'm all about it because I'm confident with my defense, with my survival skills. That's the first thing I always worked on in jiu-jitsu. That's my number one priority, is like not letting people finish me. When I get tapped out, if someone taps me in the gym here or every once in a while, like, everyone gets tapped, that affects me. I think about that. Someone passes my guard, someone mounts me, every once in a while, I don't really think about that. Like, I really don't. I'm like, yeah, that guy did pass my guard, but he didn't finish me. I got my shit back and whatever, like, but, I mean, obviously, like, I don't like that either. I'm pretty open that I don't like no one passing my guard or taking my back. But the worst is having someone submit me. Yeah. That's the ultimate. That's the top dog right there.
I was intrigued because on this one, and I know that you mentioned this propensity for them to like to play this points game. One thing I very much appreciated from Zhao's game and what we were commentating was, I mean, he was definitely bringing a way different game this time. And I noticed that, and I was appreciating it as a person who was commentating it. But how was it like for you in the match? Because I'm sure you have a very healthy competitive spirit where it brings out the best in you, and you seem to really thrive in those situations. So how did you feel, I guess, about what he was bringing that was different, and what did you notice that was different from him this time?
First things first, like, I'll never say that Yao Miao and Paulo don't go for it. They go for it, for sure. You know what I mean? They're always going forward, for sure. They're always going after you. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they don't. They definitely do, because a lot of people don't play that against me. They don't engage. They definitely engage, and they're always moving forward. That's their game, moving forward. But not necessarily always hunting for kills, and they do, which is weird. Like, here's the thing that I kind of have a problem with this whole match thing, that people, like, how people are looking at it afterwards. It's like you got to think about it. Like, the next day on Sunday, I went to open mat, and I had really good rolls with high-level guys that have way crazier leg locks, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And we went hard. And then I went back on Monday, and I trained 3 times on Monday. And then on Tuesday, I trained again. I haven't taken a day off. I took a session off yesterday at noon. I didn't practice at noon, noon session. But I've been training right after that. I trained hard. I went hard. Like, just because you grab something and you, like, have really good you ever seen soccer matches when the guy, like, falls and he acts, like, super crazy, and everyone's like, dude, that guy got hit. Nah, man, where's the car? Like, you can do that in jiu-jitsu too, when you go for a submission and you're, like, waiting for someone to give you an advantage. Mm-hmm. But guess what? There is no advantage here. There is nothing. The real thing is my leg messed up at all? Did it affect me in any way? Just because you grab the key lock, the toes and whatever, you lock it up, doesn't mean you have a submission. You can grab that anywhere. Like, you have to really get a good angle. For someone that doesn't really understand my level of flexibility or understanding of the leg game, then they don't really see that. It's hard. I get it. I understand, because there's a lot of details there. There's a lot of shit going on that, a normal person that doesn't train, even someone that trains, can't really see at that level. You have to feel it, obviously. Sometimes I look at something like, ugh. Then I talk to a guy, the guy's like, nah, dude, like, It wasn't like that. It wasn't what you thought it was, you know. And sometimes the eye lies, you know what I mean? Like sometimes what you see, you don't really understand because you gotta feel it. You know, you really gotta feel it.
No, I mean, y'all were right in front of me. Like there was a moment where I got a front row seat of him attempting to work on this heel hook on you, and it made me uncomfortable. But I know your flexibility. I know your recognition of position. So to me, I'm like, you look cool as a cucumber. I'm the one sweating over here just because I know my body and I know that doesn't work for me. But I know that the idea that to everybody else, it might seem way crazier than it is. I would say that it does seem like there might have been some improvements on his game in terms of how he was attacking it, which I thought was a little bit more improved than stuff that I've seen with them in the past. So
I'm not that impressed. It's so typical to say, like, I'm not that impressed. You know, I hate saying that. Like, I'm not that impressed. But, like, nah, dude. Like, they still got to keep working on it. Like, Eddie Cummings, that's some good leg locks, you know? When I see Nicky, yeah, he has some nice leg locks, too. You know, like, there's guys out there that have good leg locks. Kyle Chambers, Kyle Bohm. When I roll with those guys, they have sick leg locks.
Yeah.
And they can finish. I'm just saying, dude, like, there's levels to the leg locks. That's not their forte. Their forte is, like, they can get good positions on you. And they can lock things up. But, you know what I mean? I'm not saying their leg locks are not world class. But I'm just talking about, like you got to think about it. Like, Eddie Cummings put me in the honey hole deep. You know, have both of my legs controlled. Shit, I was worried. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to survive that. But I figured my way around it, and I understood how to make my legs, you know, like, safe. And I felt good. And I had a lot of those good leg battles against high-level leg lockers. And I feel very confident. I have a lot of understanding, and I dissect, you know, the leg game as much as the other guy does. You know what I mean? Like, we really play a lot of legs. I feel Paulo and Yao, I don't know about Paulo, but Yao, what I felt from him, he's playing still the IBJJ game, the toe holds, you know, straight ankle locks, not really too many knee bars. He threw a heel hook in there, but he kind of just went for the grip, didn't really establish control, you know what I mean? You go for the grip, but you got to really establish control. But, you know, I mean, shit, what I've been seeing, like, studying him into this match, I guess you could say they are evolving, and they will hit that level that I'm going to have to really be super careful with letting them touch my legs at all, because they're those kind of grapplers. They just keep evolving, keep getting better. When I see him, they're like little, you know, like just masters of this game, but they're just obsessed with this game. They're crazy over this game, and they're training with the best of the best. So yeah, they're getting better, they're evolving, so that. But in my head, I didn't give them the respect I feel I give other people when we're rolling and when I'm in those situations. And I don't know why. Actually, it's not something that I'm like, I'm gonna be a tough guy and be like that. I really just felt their bite, the way he was grabbing, the way it just felt. I felt I was okay. You know what I mean? Like, of course, if I mess up and I don't really respect it, he could have finished me and put me in some other bad situations, because I have been finished from heel hooks. I could get leg locked. I'm not leg lockable. No, hell no.
Well, I mean, it made for a very entertaining thing to watch, just from our perspective. And it was just, I mean, phonetically and crazily to me, when I see it happening in front of me, you know, you're saying the eye can lie a little bit, and I get that. But it's even more funny to me when the next day I see you and Chambers at your open mat at Oceanside, and you look unfazed. Like, you could not have even have told me, if I didn't know any better, that you guys had this massive competition the day before. Like, that's how pretty about back to routine you guys looked. So that's a very cool thing. What responses did you get from the match this time? Because I'm intrigued to hear what people, you know, gets back to you, or do you even read it, or do you watch it? Does any of that ever kind of make its way back to you once it's all said and done?
You know what, like, at the end of the day, I do this all just to get respect. You know what I mean? Like, for people to respect me, my brother, my crew, the 10 Planet Freaks, you know, the 10 Planet system, just to respect what we do. Like, we're out here, we're fighting, we're in the game. You know what I mean? Like, we're out there. Like, we're a unique game. We have our own system, and you know, just appreciate what we do. You know what I mean? You can hate on us, you can compete against us, and talk all this smack, but at the end of the day, we're grapplers. We're in love with this game. We love the art of this game, and we're gonna keep doing this art. We're gonna keep evolving. We're gonna keep getting better. We're gonna keep enjoying it and sharing the, you know, the all the great things that come with jiu-jitsu and just grappling in general. So at the end of the day, we do it because we love it. You know, we really do love it, and it makes us happy. And if I can go out there and have a sick match and make you happy, and then get the victory, and then get some cash on it, and then get some people to give me props on it, man, that feels pretty good, right? I'm doing okay. I'm doing good, and I want more of that. I'm addicted to that feeling, which is feeling good. You know, I like feeling good. I like having results. I like telling my guys, like, hey, we're working hard for a reason. Like, believe in it. Like, we're here together. Like, I'm out there grinding with the best of the world, and I can beat these guys in certain rule sets, and I beaten these guys in certain rule sets, and you know, I had tough matches with these guys, some of the best matches in the world, and not just the meows, but you know, all the high level guys that I've been competing with, and it's like that's really what I want to just prove to everybody. Like, we're in this game, and I know what it takes to be out here. You know what I mean? And I've done this in less than 10 years. You know, and not just myself, but my brother. And then other guys that started with me from white belts, like Kyle Chambers, Ricky. You know, we got guys like Keith. We got guys all around us that are killing it. PJ, you know, Kevin, like high-level guys that are monsters, and they're part of the same system we all came up from. And, you know, obviously Eddie Bravo, he's the pioneer of our system. He's the guy who gave us the fundamentals and built my confidence, you know. Yeah. He gave me that confidence, and I want to do the same to the people around me, the people training around me and my brother and all of us. I want them to feel confident with their jiu-jitsu, and I got to do it by showcasing it, right?
Yeah. I'm curious about this because, okay, your system, unlike other schools, actually puts out a list of a ranking of everybody. You're at the top of that list. Do you ever feel any pressure to uphold that spot, especially with all those names that you mentioned? Because we know a lot of those guys are up and comers, and like even when you don't see PJ, I get more actually scared, being like, Jesus Christ, they're rebuilding him stronger. I think like he looks even way more hungrier and stronger, and that's concerning. Right. You know, like, so do you feel any pressure, or does that not even register at all for you?
You know, it's like I always feel pressure with everything I do in life. I'm a guy that always constantly feels pressure. Like even when I play video games, I feel pressure. When I walk to my gym to teach a kids class, I feel pressure. I feel like everything's a big event. Everything is pressure event to me. Like that's just the way I live. And yeah, there is pressure. I want to be on top, and I'm happy I accomplished it. Don't get me wrong. If my brother, PJ, whatever, Keith, any of these guys, they pass me up. Like I'm like, all right, you're good. You're on top of me now. Like you got that spot, that number one spot. You better keep it up because I'm gonna keep coming up, and there's other guys coming up. Like it's not like I'm not a machine. I'm a human. Like I just do this because it's fun, and being competitive with my teammates, we make each other better because we have to make each other better. Because there's people out there that are freaking good, and they're high level guys that I want to smash. You know, so if my team is not pushing me, then I'm not at the right team. You know what I mean? Then I'm not at the right place. Like if I was on top and I didn't have guys constantly like pulling my toes and my ankles and you know even grinding my hips, you know, like climbing up real quick, I feel them. You know what I mean? But I like it. But I get better not just to be better in them, but to make them better as well. You know what I mean? To show them like, hey, we're up here. Let's go. How far can we go? Like we're not number one yet. You know, we're not the best in the world yet. Like, let's do it. Like, where you at? You know, let's keep pushing. And I think guys, you know, we feed off each other. You can't do it alone. You need good training partners. You need people around you that can make you better. And luckily, we built a good squad all around here, SoCal, and all over the world. We have solid 10 Planet guys that I consider my training partners. You know, and we're going to, you know, 10 Planet Ireland over there in Dublin. You know what I mean? To go do a seminar soon, a camp, and like just to connect with the people out there. 10 Planet London, you know, 10 Planet Amsterdam. Going out there to these schools and connecting with other guys that are hungry, young, crazy 17, 20-year-olds, 21-year-old kids that you're like, this kid's going to be freaking good. Like, this guy is talented, you know, and it gets me hype. And we have guys in my dojo, like my nephew, my niece, my little homies are just like 14, 12-year-olds that just come to class every day and just, they're my friends and they're my training partners and they come, they're my students, you know, but they love it. They're part of the team and they're going to be the future. They're going to be right there. They're climbing up me. When I roll something with my nephew, I'm like, shit, like, all right, you got some good stuff right here. You know, I got to go a little harder with you.
Yeah.
And they're evolving and I want to be part of that. And I kind of get excited, you know, being a part of their evolution. That's something that is kind of it's so satisfying. It's kind of hard to explain if you don't do it, you know. The progress of seeing someone evolve is beautiful.
Do they give you any perks? Do they give you like a golden bong? Do they give you a championship belt? Like, I feel like when you hit a number 1 status, you should at the very least get some sort of commemorative mug or class ring, because I feel like I look at you and I just think like the minute they show you that you're number 1, that's got to be a good feeling to look over and have the respect of your peers.
That's what it is. That's the reward.
But I also think to myself, my first answer or question, I guess, to my crew would be like, so what do I get? Like, I would look around being
Eddie's done so much for me, dude. Like, gave me so much shit, like, materialistic shit to non-materialistic shit that, like, I can't really even ask for anything at this point. It's like,
you could ask for a $9 championship belt.
Shit. I want to give Eddie stuff back. You know what I mean? I want to. When I see Eddie, I'm like, hey, I want to buy you a meal. I want to buy you a drink. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's already babied me so much that, like, I'm kind of even embarrassed and tired of it now. I'm like, all right, let me do my own. You know, when your mom's like, here, son, like, let me do this for you. It's like, Eddie's been doing that for me so much that, like, I don't even know how to take it no more. I'm like, Eddie, I love you. Thank you. And shit, I love Eddie so much that I'm telling people to look into it and telling them about the flat earth and shit. You know what I mean? Like, Eddie fucking convinced me and shit. I'm like, because I love him so much. He's done so much for me. I'm part Team Eddie. Yeah. What's up? You know what I mean? Like, and I got his back. Give me 5 seconds. I'm just going to open the door and let my dog outside.
Yeah, go right ahead. If you guys are just joining us, you are watching Grappling Hour. If you are not following us on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer, go ahead and add at Grappling Hour on all of those areas, because you will miss out on interviews like this if you're not made aware, and that would be mostly your fault, not mine. We're joining us today by one Geo Martinez. And Geo, this is another question I want to ask you, just in terms of, you know, you've put in a lot of time with these team grappling events, and I'm curious. You have one format that you've done with team grappling with 5 people where you stay in until you're out, the Survivor Series element. You have one where you're promised a match with one person. Do you have a preference between either of those? Because you're one of the people who has competed under both of those different ones.
Like, I feel like having like one big pressure match is a little more like your focus. You know, you kind of have that more like focus. You understand who you're going up against. You have a solid game plan and not just like physically like game plan, but like a mental strategy to it too. You know, and then when you're competing in a quintet kind of survival series, you really can't have a game plan. You really don't know what to expect. Like, it's more like a Pandora's box. You never know what you're gonna get out of it. You know, and to me, that's kind of more exciting, but harder to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more exciting, it's funner, but it's like, oh, it's a little more dangerous, you know, like something could happen, like you go up against a weird guy. But I have some weird matches in my quintet history, so I love it, and I love it, but I definitely think it's difficult for a lot of guys, and you know, especially at the highest levels, you're going up against the world-class guys all time, back-to-back, different weight classes. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of different strategy, but it's freaking fun. Like, it's fun.
I mean, it looks fun. I was actually super stoked to be able to commentate one of these, because I know as a fan, when I see there's a team grappling event, I've gravitated toward that. I really like it. And as I told people, I was like, you know, the best part about it is, as a commentator, the drama sells itself. You know, when we're putting the soundtrack to the art that you guys are doing in front of us, you know, sometimes you have to struggle to come up with exciting matches where you're like, oh no, this looks like it could be over. And you're just like, this is such a boring match, you know, and you have to struggle. And sometimes that happens, but you're trying to do your best to get everybody interested in there. I feel like with team grappling, you just have to talk your way through it and just say like, here are the stakes. Here's what we know what's happening. Here's the information you need as an audience member if you're just joining us right now. And then it unfolds and you just talk and it's great. But I did wonder this, which is when you have the structured one match per person and the fact that you've had the quintet experience where you stay in until you're not in, did that change anything for you when you're watching it, like as a competitor? Because the feel is so much more with the quintet style of, I want to get in there to avenge my team. And then with this stilted one, you're definitely part of a team, but you've only got one task at you. Did that change anything in terms of like being hype or staying consistent? Because especially you're the last person competing at that time.
I was the last person competing, so like I was just sleeping, you know, just listening to music. But once my teammates went out there, or even some of my 10-pounder buddies that were out there competing, I went out there and I was like watching. I couldn't help it, and it kind of set my energy up kind of high. And I was like, I should go back and lay down for a little bit. And then seeing Meow just right across from me, it's like it's kind of a lot of nerves and stuff everyone has to deal with, and you kind of just enjoy the process, even though it's difficult at times. You just got to kind of like embrace it and be like, hey, this is the process now, and like make sure you don't eat anything crazy that your stomach's going to be feeling afterwards. And I've done that before, and little things like that everyone's different. For me, just I gotta just eat smart early on. What I did early on that day, I had some breakfast, like a lot of pancakes and carbs, like pancakes and potatoes, just basic stuff, and avocado. Nothing crazy. And then I just chilled. I didn't eat nothing the rest of the day, and drank a lot of water.
Oh man.
And, yeah, but before that, I went to a dog park and hanged out with my dog and a bunch of crazy dogs. And it was like a big dog park, and that kind of like just chilled me out for like half of the day. It was weird. I was just like not thinking about the match. I was like, oh yeah, I got a match. I got to probably start heading back home and driving out. And we drove out from San Diego to LA, and we got there kind of early, even though we got there around 7 or 8, and it was still kind of early. You know what I mean? I was like, shit, I still got a couple hours. So I just chilled, and once it's time to wake up, you got to put on your headphones and just it's time to turn it on. You got to be able to turn it on, turn it off, but sometimes it's hard because it turns on by itself and you don't want to. Like, turn that shit off, dog.
Yeah.
It just comes on, you know? And that happens to me a lot. Like, I get pumped up. I get hyped real easy. And I try not to smoke before I compete because I get too excited too fast and I get burned out. This time I took a couple hits early on the day, and it kind of calmed me down and I relaxed. And I don't like to smoke right before because if I don't take a little nap, it like sometimes I feel like a little down, like a little tired. And I'm like, I like feeling the energy. If I smoke and then I go compete or train right away, it's good. But since the competition is always up and down, you never know where you're going to go. I prefer not to even smoke at all sometimes. I'm just like, hey, you know what? I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to kind of go in there and just focus. But if it was this late, then I smoked during the day and then chilled at the night. I could just like take a little nap in between and feel good. You know, just kind of my state of mind, kind of like what my process was.
That makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't know, my man, because I don't know any of that life. And here's the thing.
You gotta heal yourself.
Well,
you
I mean...
your body. Are you always hurting? Are you always sore?
Well, no. Not that bad. I'll tell you this much. So, when I roll with people, I have bad lower back. And people will always be like, oh, man, are you injured? I'm like, no, I'm just old. Like, that's just what's happening. And they're like, they'll hear a bone crack, and they'll be like, oh, my God, I do that? I was like... Yeah, you're forcing the bone to move a certain way. I'm fine. But, like, that's just what comes with being old. So, I've learned this.
I wonder if every older person is hurting and cracking. Everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
It's just, like, it really depends. And also, like, us jiu-jitsu grapplers, whatever, like, our bodies are not doing normal things, you know what I mean? Like, so you got to do a lot of rehab and stuff. For me... I like to relax my body, but I don't take any kind of pills, any kind of synthetic stuff. Not even Tylenol or ibuprofen or anything like that. This is not my style, you know what I mean? Especially not biking and stuff. So I always really just enjoy natural remedies, cannabis.
Absolutely, man. And here's the thing: is like I have so many people and I've read so many different studies, and I'm so glad that they've relaxed so many of the rules for athletes so that they can actually do that. But like the fact that it's not even done at a level that really, really studies the benefits of it at a like a larger level from my own taste is something that I feel is very harmful for you guys. So when I see all these guys who are pushing, different CBD products or, natural remedies, I'm always like, dude, whatever keeps you off of stuff that you can get addicted to for pills and stuff like that, like that's really helpful, man. So I understand that.
Change your own, everyone's different. Everyone has different body types too, so everything's gonna affect people differently, and we all think different too. So, the way it affects me could affect you completely different, or even just your interest in it, and everyone's different, and I'm never gonna tell anybody what to do. But personally, just my experience, and I know a lot of people would think different, be like, no, don't do this and that. It's like I tell everybody, just do whatever you want, just like you do.
That's fair. All right, let's ask this, because you have a pretty busy, I guess, schedule still coming up. So what's next is, in my belief, Kasai. So this Kasai is an 8-man tournament, right?
I believe it's going to be...
Well, I think they announced 6 people, and I thought that they were saying there were 2 open spots still. So that's what confused me, because I saw 6 people, and I said, I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, it probably is 8.
But, you've done Kasai's before, obviously. It's nothing different. It's just putting a Kasai up while most people would start to wind down for ADCC. Like, is that just the strategy of just being like, hey, man, I want to be as active as possible to get all those reps in, especially with high caliber?
I just want to hit that next level, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel good right now. I want to prove myself and prove to myself and to everyone just what I am capable of doing. And I know there's a lot more for me to be done. And I'm getting older, we all get older. And my focus is not as competitive as it was when I was younger. My focus is still competitive, but more as in like, also I'm really passionate about my gym and my students, like I was saying earlier. Yeah. So, I feel like I'm doing the shift of that eventually through my life. It's going to eventually shift. But right now is the time, these next couple of years, for me to grind and prove myself and get some good matches out there, go through some wars and just put it out there. And later I won't have too many regrets and be like, hey, I went out there and I put myself out there. Eventually, obviously, like, I can't do everything I want to do. I want to do a lot of things, and I want to accomplish a lot of things. And, I can only do so much. So I'm just going to try to do as much as I can. And, I'll never be truly satisfied. But, I'll be a little happy with what I've done and what I accomplished. And I could be okay with it and tell people, hey, I went out there and I put myself out there, and my experience can help you out. That's all. I want to put in that work now, because this is me. I got the ability to do it. I feel it in me that I can do it right now. So it's like, why not just go out there and do it? Like, don't wait for it. Don't make any excuses. And take every opportunity you get. They asked me to do Kasai. They like me there. They work good with me. They like my brother. They like what we do. They always send us love. Let's go out there and represent my crew, my side of my crew. Like, I want to go out there and fight for my crew and be like, hey, the freaks. I'm fighting for the freaks, and watch us. Check us out. We're high level, and we entertain people, and we always go for the kill. And 10 Planet Freaks, we're something, people got to respect. And that's really what I do every time I go compete. Same thing with ADCC. That's a dream. If I win ADCC and I get gold or silver even, I feel like that's the ultimate accomplishment a no-gi guy could accomplish. I've done EBIs. I won EBIs, and that's something that a lot of no-gi guys want to have in their record and want to win. And I already did that. And I won the trials, the ADCC trials, and I submitted and won the trials, but now I gotta win the big show to kind of, in other people's eyes, to be like, wow, like that's that next level. Like, Geo did it. Like, and for me to do it, like, that'll be awesome. I'll feel good. I'll be winning and everything. I'll be like, damn, I did it. What I wanted to do. I set my goal and I accomplished it. And even if I don't really ever get first place in ADCC, at least I already accomplished a lot of things that I never thought I could accomplish. And I just set some goals, so I'm doing the same thing I did to accomplish those goals. I'm just focusing, having fun, and just going for it. Not hesitating, not taking any step back. So I'm always going forward.
That's beautiful. That's great, man. And like you mentioned, you already have a resume no matter what happens from here on out, I mean, you've already made a very solid impact, so it can only go up from here. And why not is the whole kind of premise behind that. Is there anybody at Kasai that you're looking forward to match with, or are there matches that you're kind of like from those people that you've seen announced that you're like, yeah, I want that match?
Let's go, y'all. Let's do that rematch already. Let's go. Why not? People want to see it. Let's do it. Shit. I'll show you I can play the point game too. You know what I mean? Because I've been training the point games, and now I'm ready for the point game too. But I play different strategies for different games, you know? So, like, this time I'll play smart. I'll play conservative. I'll play hard, and I'll go for that game too. And I'll go for my kills if I see it. But I can play that easy. So, if you want to play that game, and I can beat you in that game, so you don't shake your head like, no. So you can actually go like, he got me this time. Yeah. Then, because it kind of disappointed me. I felt disrespected a little bit when I won, and they raised my hand, and he's like, "There's like, nah, like, it's like, nah, what? Like, like you're not happy with yourself, or no, it didn't happen. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm assuming what he meant, but I felt that vibe from him. He kind of had a weird smirk, and like, so I'm like, hey, let's do it again. Let's do it again. If I beat you in points, maybe that'll give you a different feeling. If you beat me by points, it'll still hurt. No matter what. If I lose, I lose. It doesn't feel good, no matter what. You know? But ultimately, if I finish you, that'll be the ultimate satisfaction.
That's a tough one, just because, I mean, I appreciate the fact that you're giving the benefit of the doubt, just in terms of being a competitor and knowing how bad you want to win. And that could be part of it. I mean, it does look odd just because we've been taught in terms of, you know, you take your wins and your losses with grains of salt. You know, when you're up there, you know, obviously you celebrate your wins, but when you lose, you don't want to be a sore loser. You know, I've
been a sore loser before I get it. You know what I mean? Like, so that's all I'm saying. But like,
sure.
Afterwards, do you change your mind? You're like, he got me. Or is he still like that state of mind? So I don't know. I'm not inside his head.
Sure.
But I don't even know how he thinks. This guy could look at me completely different. Like, I don't know him as a person.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So like, I know him as a great competitor. He's always been nice, and every time I see him in tournaments, he's always giving me the what's up, and you know, we know what's up, and that's cool with me. Like, I don't hate the guy. I actually have a lot of respect for him. I'm a fan. I respect him. You know what I mean? Like, I like what he does and what he's been doing for a while, and I'm not assuming that he's being disrespectful, but if he is, I would like to give him that satisfaction of beating him and a points tournament as well, which Kasai is perfect for, because they award points for submission attempts too, which is cool for us guys that love submission only.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would like to go against, you know, a lot of people have been wanting to watch me versus Ethan. And I mean, like, I think that'll be a great match. And, you know, he's sick and he's beating a lot of good guys. And he's won ADCC 2 years in a row, the trials in North America. I would like to compete against him and just have a great match. I know we will have a good match. And I think people will have a great show between me and Ethan. But who else is in there? There's a lot of killers. You know, rematch versus Jonathan Calistan would be awesome. You know what I mean? Because he's a beast, and you know, we both want to go out there and win it. You know, he's another guy that's coming up, and he's another guy that you know, he does more submission only stuff. So a lot of IBJJ people don't really know that he's another killer. If you train with him, you know, and I compete against him, and I've seen him a lot, and he's one of those guys that's out there putting it out there. Who else is there? Everybody, any match anybody I get matched up with is gonna be sick. And that's the thing. Anybody I compete, any tournament I'm going for is gonna be a hype one. I'm not gonna do no whack tournament no more. I'm not in that mode no more. I just don't feel it no more. And I have enough people that compete in. All my teammates are always competing in all tournaments too. So like, let them have that too. But there's certain tournaments that I want right now. Kasai, EBI, Quintet, Subversive, Fight to Win are fun because you have those super fights that people want to watch. You know what I mean? So I'm down with that. You know, ADCC, we have these tournaments that are sub only, and I know there's like Jiu-Jitsu World Festival coming up. I'm doing a super fight with those guys coming up.
Yeah, can you explain that one? Because I saw it go up, and I mean, I'm excited in the sense that they used to have a Jiu-Jitsu Expo years ago, and now they're doing a festival, but I think it's different organizers. I just love the fact that when I was looking down, I saw them starting to put together super fights for this, and then all of a sudden it said, vote on who Geo faces. Can you explain that? Did I read that right? Am I on crack? What does that mean?
Just some guys, some Brazilian dudes. I don't even know who they really are. They asked me if I wanted to do it, and I'm just like, you know what? I think I work with you guys. I like what you guys are doing. I'll do a submission only match with anybody you want. You know what I mean? Like, and they're like, I think they're thinking of doing just a submission only. No one taps each other out. No one wins. Against some world class black belt guy. That's what they want. They want me to go against another world champion. You know what I mean? Like, just to be like, they know I'm an exciting fighter, and they want to kind of like put those styles together. A guy that wants to do submission only too, that's down to prove his submissions are worthy or legit or whatever you want to say about it. You know, so I'm all about it because I'm down to choke people out, and I'm down to go for some crazy submissions, and that's what I'm about. If you want to invite me to your tournament, you got a good offer against a good match. It can't be a whack match. It has to be against someone that's like a world champion, someone high level, just so I can get excited. Yeah. And then pay me what you think is fair. You know, these guys, I didn't even ask for too much money. I just told them, like, hey, what do you think is good? Blah, blah, blah. They're like, we're starting out. We got this much. I could probably ask for way more, but you know what? People are always surprised that I'm just like that. Yeah. I'm just like, I don't care. I just want to compete and give people hype matches because my style is unique, and I want to spread it, and I want to show people by going out there and putting it out there. And the times that I've been injured or haven't been able to compete or something that happens, I get depressed. You know, it makes me depressed. I feel like I'm not doing much with my life. When I'm out there competing, grinding, and pushing myself out there and taking opportunities, I feel occupied. I feel like everything's just going fast. I'm moving, and then the times I do have to chill and relax after tournaments, I appreciate them more.
I understand that. I just the way they had written it, I just thought, is this a game show that we're pitching now? Is this win a match with Geo?
They offered a lot of people, and one of them was Yao Miao. But they offered me a lot of people, and I said yes to everybody because they're all good world champions that I never competed against, Brazilian guys. And all of them said no and yes and no, and they all were hard. Oh, this weight class, that weight class, blah, blah. Like, it was tough to find someone that wants to compete with me at 145 or below. You know what I mean? Like, I'll do 135 too. You know, people forget that I'm a 135er, and that's what I'm good at too. You know, I feel strong at 135. That's where I feel good. You know, my cardio, my strength feels good at 135. Even though a lot of people forget, they just think I'm like a bigger dude or something. But I can compete at 135, you know, maybe even lower, but we'll just keep it at 135 right now.
So let's talk about this because, so it goes Kasai, and then is the next thing going to be ADCC? Is after that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And after that is going to be that one world tournament, and Fight to Win's trying to set up a match. There's a couple matches in there that we're trying to set up, and I don't know. I just want to keep training, and I got a lot of seminars coming up. A lot of seminars and camps coming up, which is cool.
Let's go over those seminars in just 1 second. I just wanted to come up with a scenario. If the scenario does happen over at ADCC and it's you versus Keith, are you going to taint his gushers? Are you going to spike them? Are you going to...
I'm going to squeeze them like a little gusher. No, I love Keith. If I go up against Keith, I'm going to go hard against him because Keith is Keith, and we always go hard.
No.
We go hard at our gym all the time, 100%. So, like, he knows how we roll. Like, we got respect for each other, so we're just gonna roll hard. Yeah. You know, it's gonna be fun, shit. And you know, if he catches me, I'll buy him some gushers, but I'll buy him gushers, a bunch of gushers. All right, so maybe that'll give him a little motivation. But hopefully, we don't have to go up against each other. Hopefully, the time we do go up against each other is in the finals.
Yeah.
And I love Keith, and he's like a little brother. But you know, if I have to go up against him, I'm gonna whoop his ass like a little brother if I have to. You know what I mean?
I love the fact though that, like, you know, his story of getting in is very fun and good to see. You know, I think that was hard work being paid off. And
he's just one of those guys that you just can't not love him. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like you want to be like, he's not gonna win that, or he's not gonna do good in that, or not, he's not ready yet and stuff. But he just grinds, and he has such a good attitude about it that, like, that's the main thing that I always appreciate about guys like Keith and Ricky, guys like them that just work so hard. But, like, there's a lot of people that work hard, but to have a good attitude and put in work like that and still have the same humble attitude that you had since day one,
Yep.
then that's what I can respect. And of course, only certain people could hit that top level, especially on 10 Planet Freak ranking. Then we're like, even the 10 Planet ranking overall, they were like, hey, you're one of the top dudes in the team and the crew. And Keith, he wanted it. He creeped his way up there, and he's one of the top dogs in the crew. And he's just one of those guys that has the future is super bright for him if he keeps the same attitude and just keeps pushing hard and keeps eating all those gushers. I think he's going to hit that heavyweight level anytime soon and be a heavyweight world champion.
I'm so glad that that's the phraseology we're going to use for him. It's like Keith is going to have his Hulk Hogan being like, well, say your prayers and eat your gushers. So I think that's going to be the next thing I meme about him. I have to say this, man. I'm very excited that you'll be doing ADCC. You always provide really, really great matches. You've already had great moments with just the association with that. So a lot of us are very much looking forward to that. And of course, Ultimate Mat Warriors comes back on September 21st. I know your brother and you do a lot of hard work to put that together, and that's always a fantastic event that gives a lot of new grapplers a lot of opportunities, and a lot of those grapplers have gone on to other things after they've gotten the exposure there. One being Keith Corian, which is one of my first big-time exposures to him, where I saw him and I said, yeah, this kid's going to go places. And it was early on where I was like, yeah, but I love the fact that you guys, you get a little bit of new and old. You get a whole bunch of people who put together these great super fights. So we always look forward to that. Where are these seminars going to be, sir?
Honestly, like, I have seminars all over lined up right now. Earlier I was talking about how we're going to do the camp in Ireland coming up soon. Next month. So if you guys are still interested in going to Ireland and doing a sick camp with some of the highest 10 Planet black belts, check it out online. Ireland Jiu-Jitsu Camp. You know what I mean? And you can check the Instagram for that too. I have flyers on my Instagram. So does my brother. There's stuff coming up in Mexico. I'll be in Mexico soon. So check me out. The Mexican Latinos out there. I'll be doing a seminar in Espanol. So, it'll be good for everybody to come out if you want to train some 10 Planet Freak Jiu-Jitsu in Spanish. I have a bunch of stuff coming up locally, all over locally. Like, honestly, I'm not that good with I just write stuff down on my phone, and my phone reminds me of everything. You know what I mean?
I got you, man.
It's hard for me to remember these seminars and stuff. I try to do everything myself.
Well,
but
one thing I did want to ask you about was I did want to ask about the Freak Summit, because getting Marcelo
that wasn't us.
I thought that you guys got one.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Marcelo was the Portland camp. The Portland, it's the 10 Planet camp still.
Okay.
The Midwest camp.
My apologies
they
on
did it over
that.
there.
Well, you guys still had together. You had Keenan this year, though.
No, we had Felipe Pena. That was last year.
Oh,
this year we had Felipe Pena, Ryan Hall, Leo Vieira, Eddie Bravo, Craig Jones. What was that happened there? And Kyle Terra. So it was still like a lot of high level dudes and stuff, and super crazy. One of the craziest jiu-jitsu experience I ever had, because so much knowledge, overwhelming, overflowing knowledge, that I still have stuff that I'm working on from the seminar that I'm like, I'm add this shit to my game, because that's what we do. These summits are, they're for everybody, but hey, me and my brother, we're students of the game. We're bringing people out that we want to learn from and shit. So we're out there learning from everybody, and it was Alexander Sanji Hibero, so one of the Hibero brothers. So we had them there, and it was just awesome, man. So many different styles and concepts and just ideas about jiu-jitsu, and just the way they present their jiu-jitsu and their character. It's so interesting. It is like a music concert, or like a festival like Coachella, because you see all these performers perform their art in their way, and they look different, they talk different, they have their own little swag and their own little way of talking, and it makes it interesting. You see the diversity and the community of jiu-jitsu, even though it's kind of a small community, it's so diverse with so many different energies and characters. It's beautiful. Every year we do it.
How did that come together, though? Like, how did you guys come up with the idea to make that a thing? And more importantly, it seemed that part of that was a unifying kind of experience, one where you said, like, I don't care where you come from or where you are. I want you guys to come to this because we want to keep it open to all. So I know that that's part of it, but where did the idea originally kind of spring from?
Richie, he's really good at just organizing things, and he's like, hey, it's time for us to throw a summit kind of thing, a freak summit, a no-gi freak summit. And that's what it was. It's like, we didn't want to throw a camp. Everyone does camp. We're used to going to summits, like breakdancing summits, like B-boy summit, stuff like that. So we're like, they just do a freak no-gi summit. And we'll do it in the summertime. People love San Diego. We'll get the best black belts. We'll just hit everybody up personally ourselves and talk to them and be like, hey, this is our thing. And, we make sure all the black belts get paid good enough to feel happy and satisfied to do a good seminar. And, most of the time we ask them if they can get some rolls with us and teach their stuff for a couple hours. And everybody's super cool about it. And we just did it because we want to really, you're right, we want to unify a lot of styles together. And, we want to really show the community how involved Ten Planet is and making the jiu-jitsu and grappling community grow worldwide and in different levels, So we sold out 2 years in a row, months before we have the seminar or the summits, and we're going to keep getting bigger and bigger. We might have to host in a bigger place because it was just sold out real quick. And the main thing is we're just trying to do this because it's fun and people want to be there. And I want to be there. And we want to throw these events for everybody, for us, because it's fun. Mm-hmm. That's ultimately our vision. Just like, we want to do stuff that's going to make us want to be a part of. You know what I mean? We don't want to do stuff that, that's not our style. Like, this is our style. This is something that I will pay money to go to, even if I wasn't hosting it myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I mean, when you say you're going to expand, I wouldn't be surprised if, within the next 2 years, you're going to be like, at the DJ tent, we have, Keith is doing his thing over there. It's sponsored by Gushers. Then over at the Sahara tent, we're going to have Jean-Jacques doing his. So you guys got to schedule accordingly. It's very different. We're going to have 2 weekends now. We're going
over there at the chapel area. We have Andre Gaval or the...
Well, let's do this, man. I'm so glad that you were able to take the time to chat with us today. I want to remind everybody of what's coming up next. Obviously, Kasai 6 is happening in Atlantic City. That's on August 17th. And, of course, ADCC is happening late September. But the week before ADCC, do not forget, in San Diego, the Freaks will be hosting, that is Ultimate Mat Warriors, which is honestly one of my favorite things to get to watch because those guys, like, the community aspect that you guys pull there is always fun. And I whenever I have somebody who's like, man, I don't know if I should go to that, or I'm interested, I'm always like, you have to go. Like, go support. If you want to have like a good experience, it's always a great show. So I very, very much will be happy to support and endorse. Before we get you on out of here, sir, can we take care of any plugs for either sponsors or for your teams that you want to give shout outs to, sir?
I'm not really wearing any swag right now, but I'm always failings, all about the failings. To me, they always gave us love and been super helpful for the 10 Planet Freaks, and just their quality is on point. So, just check it out and feel them out, and once you try them, then you can tell me how much you like them, all right? Other than that, always got to give love to the 10 Planet Freaks worldwide. We're blowing up, and, not just the 10 Planet crew itself, of course. Mad love to all my 10 Planet brothers and family all over the world, but my inner crew, the 10 Planet Freaks, we're putting in work. Check us out, especially in San Diego. We have schools out here that you can all come and check us out. We have plenty of schools and plenty of students and training partners and cool instructors for you to train with. Other than that, come visit me at 10 Planet Oceanside. I'm there every day grinding, with high-level jiu-jitsu competitors. So come train with me and the rest of the 10 Planet Freaks in Oceanside. I'm there every day, so you can't miss me. If you want to come and roll, a lot of guys, I had a few black belts come in just to see if I was the real deal, to see if I was, if I was down. So, you know what? I'm always down to train with high-level people. So if you want to come and check if I'm the real deal, then you can come and check me out, 10 Planet Oceanside. I'm there every day.
Fair enough. And, he's not kidding when he says that, because he is also the type that goes up to a cost commentator / broadcasters after an event and tells them that they're going to try and stone cold stun them. And here's the thing, Gio. I want you to understand this very, very clearly. You are super good at jiu-jitsu. You have levels of jiu-jitsu I will never reach. But I just, there's a little bit of your pro wrestling regimen that I see the holes. And I just always look at you and I think to myself, I'm like, I wouldn't want to end this guy's jiu-jitsu career. It would just be too sad.
Listen up, jabroni. All right, real quick. I just have way more knowledge and history of wrestling and culture. I grew up in the golden era of wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, for me, like, I look at it like this: like you're Marty Jannetty, I'm Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? I'm about to kick you through the. You know what I'm talking about, through the mirror?
I know what you're talking about. You're Brutus the Bar Beefcake show. I know your references, and I go one further. I let you know you can be the Shawn Michaels to my Bret Hart. I just hope you understand that my technicianness is something that you could never understand. My storytelling ability is unfathomable. But I know that I'm going to let you go through ADCC, and then we'll see what happens from there. Because it's not like rolling, sir. There are chairs. There are ladders.
You do have great storytelling. You do have great storytelling. So I'll put you in the same comparison as JR. You're like the JR of jiu-jitsu, bro. That's fair.
And you know what?
Hey, you put yourself there. I'm the Shawn Michaels of wrestling, the heartbreak kid. All right, that's what I do. I just break hearts everywhere I go. I break all these haters' hearts. You know, you guys are just all hating me. You guys want me to go down, but I'm not gonna fall down. I'm just like climbing up the ladder. You know, you're gonna try to pull me down. I'm gonna show a little ass, and I'm gonna get the belt at the end. You know, because I'm the heartbreak kid. This is what I do here.
I'm just going to tell you this right now. There's nothing more entertaining than hearing you compare me to JR. I was like, literally just saying, I was like, yeah, I'm like the Bret Hart. You're like, nah, you're like the JR. But I will take it for this sense, which is, and I sincerely mean this, when I was telling people before and they said, what were you excited about this particular event? And there were two things. One was commentating with my good friend John Evans, and two was I had never had the opportunity to commentate one of your matches or Yao matches before, and it was honestly a lot of fun, man. I look forward to doing more in the future, but it was sincerely a thrill because you make things easy for us on the commentary side. You know, it's not a matter of talking shit, it's a matter of saying, here's what happens and here's why it's entertaining. And when it's happening right in front of you, literally centimeters away from me, where you're like, oh, God. Oh, that's a lot. That's happening right now. You get to yourself, you say, there's no better seat in the house. So I very much appreciate you for providing your art. I think
I saw the show, honestly. Real quick, I saw the show, and I saw the whole show the day I came home. I saw it that night. And you did an awesome job commentating with both of you guys from the beginning to the end. And it was cool to see that now we're getting, to that level that we have professional guys that take it serious and they do their job good. So, for me, it's entertaining because I love that commentating aspect of, all sports, and especially, old school wrestling and stuff. And you have the sense of humor with the knowledge of what's going on, which is important in my case. Not just having a pretty girl with a pretty face, with a pretty voice, talk about whatever they're talking about. I'd rather have people that are funny and they know what the hell they're talking about. That's what I'm about. So I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I know we always joke, and I know that I have a good sense of humor when it comes to a lot of things, but there's nothing I take more seriously than the responsibility of telling the athlete's story. Like, it's all fun and games, but it's like, it is out of a pure love of, I love what you guys do. I think what it is hard, and I don't think people communicate that well enough. And so when someone says that I get to commentate something, I go, awesome, and I get really excited, and then I go, that's a lot of work. I got to go away, and I got to do homework, and I literally, the way that you guys approach competition is the way that I approach commentating. So I go home, and I listen to it, and I watch it, and I make notes, and I literally sit there, and I agonize until I'm like, nah, it's got to be better. It's got to be improved. So to me, I love that. Doreen McLean says, I think Raph needs to come to a 10th Planet Oceanside for a Shark Tank. Now, okay, I think, let's not misconstrue this, okay? I want to make sure it's very clear. My pro wrestling is great. My jiu-jitsu is like, fine. But what's his face? I believe it was Kyle Chambers, actually, came up to me and very, very nicely, after he had a hell of a match as well, just goes, hey, Raph, when you coming to train? And I was like, never. I'm never coming to train with you. What do you think I'm going to do with you? And he's like, nah, dude, you got to come. And I was like, I just commentated a match where you have just massacre power. And he's just like, oh, man, it'd be so much fun. I was like, not for me. So.
Yeah. You're going to come in there and both of the cows are going to be lined up waiting for you.
I'm pretty sure
and then from there, we'll have Ricky, and then I'll be behind Ricky.
Yeah, you're gonna be sending all of your minions. It's like level bosses.
Different dungeons, you know what I mean? Like the first dungeon you have Kyle, and another dungeon the next Kyle, Or actually, we'll put the same cows in the same dungeon.
Oh, good.
You know?
I can tell you this much.
Two massive cows.
I've been meaning to make a trip down to San Diego, specifically Oceanside, to visit y'all. So it will happen more sooner
Always
than
welcome.
later. Oh, well, thank you.
Every day, you're always welcome. We're always there, too. We never close. Not even on the holidays.
Well, that's how you know you get the championship level that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thanks to Geo Martinez for stopping by today to talk about Subversive. I want to thank you guys. If you are enjoying this, please add and subscribe. You can add and subscribe at Grappling Hour on all major platforms. That's Instagram, Facebook, that's YouTube as well. Subscribe on there, and as well on Twitter. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. It's been a very, very fun chat. Catch us on the next episode of Verbal Tap. That's coming up later this week. We will be doing a preview of next week's UFC 240. Until then, I just want to say thank you guys. Thank you to Geo for coming in today. And I cannot wait to talk to you guys again next week. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you guys on the mats.